Okay.
Hey, DJ, let's switch up the music. That's better. So listen up, moms and dads out there. There are these programs called Medicaid and CHIP. They offer free or low-cost health coverage for kids. Things like doctor and dentist visits, prescriptions, and shots are covered. All the stuff that keeps kids like me healthy and in charge.
So, as you can tell, a covered kid is a confident kid. And it means confident parents, too. To learn more about affordable health coverage for your family, visit healthcare.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. That's 1-877-543-7669.
Yep, you could do something big for your family today because enrollment is open year-round.
This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And Sophia.
Do you let other people order for you at a restaurant?
He'll have the saumon lyonnaise.
No, I won't.
Or pick the movie you're gonna see?
She'd like a ticket to Attack on Rage Mountain.
Really?
Yeah, come on. So why would you let others make all the important decisions about how your life is going to be when you get older? I mean, is it okay with you if your kids decide where you're going to live?
My kids? Are you out?
Are you kidding?
Or perfect strangers choose who'll be taking care of you?
Not gonna happen.
No,
Better visit longtermcare.gov, the trusted information site that helps you find your own path forward without selling you anything. It takes you step by step through everything you need to consider about aging and all your options. Longtermcare.gov. Stay in charge by planning now or pay later.
How about a mohawk?
How about a mohawk? How about I put my foot right... Oh, hi, honey.
Debt. We can all get in a bit too deep. Members of the NFCC, the National Foundation for Credit Counseling, can help you put debt in its place.
Credit cards took charge of my financial life. An NFCC credit counselor helped me get back in control. I took charge of my debt.
Student loan debt followed me wherever I went. My NFCC financial advocate taught me all I needed to know. I mastered my student loan debt.
We wanted to buy our first home, but weren't sure if we were mortgage ready. Our NFCC housing counselor helped us make a plan. We're on a path to our first home.
NFCC member agencies serve all 50 states and Puerto Rico. Convenient, helpful, knowledgeable, nonprofit. Financial advocates there for you.
We put debt in its place.
Be one of 5 million people to beat debt by 2020. Connect with an NFCC certified credit counselor at your local member agency today. Go to nfcc.org/stopdebt or call 877-410-6322.
WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Barry, Sable, and Friends on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
The Barry Sable Show with Friends is streaming live on YouTube. Here is Uncle Barry.
Events. So what is a single guy to do? I took off to Brazil for its beautiful beaches and bikini-filled white sands, great food, sun, and fun. I want to thank my good friend Paul and my adopted family for showing me such a great time in Brazil. But I'm back, Missed America and the tri-state area, and you guys. Well, good morning. You have tuned in to the Barry Sable Show with Friends. So glad you chose to join me this morning on this Eagles playoff Sunday. Call-in numbers 855-839, a simple 1210. Again, 855-839-1210. Don't be shy. Would love to hear from you. Well, in studio with me, Mike Crispy, a 2024 Trump delegate and surrogate, has a nationally syndicated podcast called Mike Crispy Unafraid. Every day can be found on Rumble, Monday through Thursday. Finally, president of a nonprofit organization called the Italian American Civil Rights League. I'm a Jew. Can I please join, please? My guest, Mike Crispy. Thank you for joining me on Barry Sable and Friends this morning. How are you, my friend?
Barry, it's an honor, and, Italians and Jews have a lot in common. So you have an honorary, I hereby give you an honorary lifetime membership into the Italian American Civil Rights League. So there you go. We're starting the show off on a high note.
Yes, of course, and I appreciate that. Listen, we only have an hour, so I want to get right to it. As Kash Patel wrote at the end of the year, as the last page of this year's chapter unfolds, I extend my warmest wishes to the brave souls fighting for a better world, and to generations that will inherit our collective legacy. May this holiday season bring you renewed hope, determination, and a sense of accomplishment as you continue, Mr. Trump, your noble mission to create a brighter future for all. In this season of reflection, let us celebrate the progress made and challenges to overcome. May the new month ahead of us inspire us to carry forward the spirit of unity, resilience, and compassion into the coming year, working together to create a world that nurtures and uplifts every individual. Here's to all Americans filled with warmth, love, and unwavering belief that together we can build a better world for generations to come. Mike Crispy, your thoughts.
Oh, first of all, that was beautiful, Barry, the way that you read that. It was like Abraham Lincoln, Gettysburg Address style right there. No, obviously a lot of optimism, in the Trump world. I've been on this Trump train since 2015 when he came down the escalator. Actually, I went to my first Trump rally. It was October 2015. I was just there super early. I got there at the crack of dawn, and I was there in Jacksonville, Florida, and I was in the first row, and I was just amazed and captivated by the movement that President Trump was creating back in 2015. And now, 9 years later, to look back and say he got elected for a third time, my campaign rally that he's ever had in New Jersey, and that I was elected, and selected by President Trump's campaign to represent him at the RNC, to be a surrogate campaign, doing radio and TV. It's just been a wild whirlwind of a ride, and I think that Kash Patel's point there is just a renewed sense of optimism and a great hope for America. Obviously, we're in a very tough time right now. The country is quite literally burning to the ground in California, and I think Kash's comments that you so eloquently read there are reflective of people at the holiday season, at the turn of the year. They're saying we have a new dawn upon us. We're going to save this country once and for all. It's been a wild 9 years. We've had ups, we've had downs, but we're going to save it. And to your question about the rally, it was just an unbelievable
100,000 people,
and honor.
right?
Yeah, 100,000 people at the Jersey Shore in Wildwood, and you really can't prepare for something like that. I mean, I was honored to be selected. I was the first speaker at the rally, and there weren't that many people who spoke. It was just me and Congressman Jeff Van Drew, and then Governor Doug Burgum, who is now in Trump's cabinet, really the only speakers at the rally. So you really can't kind of say what comes to heart when you look at the crowd. But I just remember getting up there, looking back, and you got things that are just like kind of going super quick. And I looked back as far as the eye could see. This was on the beach in Wildwood. And I looked back as far as the eye could see, and I said, I cannot see the end of this crowd. And that I look,
unbelievable.
I said, this is an unbelievable moment, historic, and it's just such an honor to have played such a small little role in making what I think is worth it.
Mike, tell me why you're such a big Trump supporter. Obviously, through the presidential elections and the nominees for who could be president, why were you so enthralled with Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, from day one, when he came later, he announced that he was running for president. I realized that our country has never had somebody like him run for president before. Somebody who is a businessman, somebody who tells it like it is, somebody who isn't beholden to the special interest, somebody who's strong and powerful. And, we have a system right now in our country where Washington, D.C. bureaucrats are like this, this cabal of nerds and geeks, and they're there and they're selling us out, and they're, lying through their teeth, and they're double talking. And it really is such a horrible thing, the way that politicians have taken our country, they've robbed it of its wealth, and they've made this country unrecognizable. So what I love about President Trump was that he came in there and absolutely just ripped the whole system down as we know it. He bullied the bullies. He came in and said, I'm not going to play by these rules. I have the money. I have the gravitas. I know how to get media attention. I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to do it on behalf of the American people by the same things that make everybody else beholden. So it was that combined with his policies that really had me captivated by the movement since day one, and it's only got and I think it's all kind of played out 2020 after what happened in 2020. Obviously was super upset, but I think it's all for the best now because the country had to get so horrible under Biden for everyone to kind of realize what was going on. And now it's like a phenomenon for people to, celebrate Trump. I mean, more people are Trump supporters than ever before. So it's really come full circle, and it's been amazing.
We on this show always say Washington will never fix Washington. And you know that there was a big pushback throughout the 4 years initially when President Trump was president. I mean, they tried to impeach him in every which way. They gave him such a tough time. He wanted to go do the border. They gave him a tough time in raising money for that. Even though we spent who knows how much money between Russian money in Israel and throughout the world, $5 billion to put up a wall such time. The question I have for you is what kind of headaches, pushbacks other way do you think Trump is going for over the next 4 years? Or do you think the fact that they have House and they have the Senate, it should be easier streaming for him?
Well, I think that they've thrown everything they can at him. I mean, if you look back in 2016, they were spying on his campaign and they were accusing him of Russia collusion. That kind of, at the end of the day, they impeached him over it. The public said, I mean, it's just more politics. Then they did, staged what they said was an insurrection. It wasn't an insurrection, obviously. They ran on that for years and years, saying that Trump was an insurrectionist, and the public kind of said, we're not. Then they tried to jail him. They him 4 times. They charged him with 90 some odd. The public kind of said, we're not going to buy that either. And then they tried to Pennsylvania when they took a shot, and I don't believe that. I believe that was a coordinated effort to assassinate President Trump before the RNC convention. I mean, the timing of that shouldn't be lost on anybody.
Scary, Mike.
Right before Trump was formally nominated at the So I don't believe that was an accident. I think that they were taking their shot. They missed. The grace of God, Trump was spared.
Yep.
And I think from there now, anything that they try to throw away, any obstacle that they front of us, I think it's going to not be able to hold muster when it comes to what we've been through, what we built this resolve, we built resiliency. So yes, I think they're going to challenge him, absolutely. Do I think they're going to try to open him again? Yeah, probably. I think they're going to try to use obstructionist tactics, people to hold his cabinet nominees, or to stop his agenda in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I think they will. House. We do have the Senate. We have cabinet members never before. We're actually going to catch agenda. Last time we had some cabinet members quite frank. So I think we have a much better deck that we're playing with now.
So.
And even though they will try to obstruct, even though weak Republicans, but deals with Democrats, even though Democrats will filibuster and stand in the deep state, are still going to exist in these. Even though it's still going to happen, Barry, I think that unlike we've ever been battle tested before, that's why I said all of the hardships in 2020, following what they did when they sold all of that, it kind of all is for the we're battle tested, and we're ready to take the final stand and save the country once and for all.
I'll be honest with you, Mike, and I agree with you. I think his cabinet and his picks are going to be terrific. I'm really concerned about safety for him.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see, and as you know, I went to the border and I saw some of these people coming in to this country. It was hard to believe. And frankly, I think that they better be very careful with this man, because I think there are people out there to do harm to him, harm to the people that he selected. Any thoughts?
Well, honestly, you look at FD and you and there's always these threats that are popping up. I mean, it was like this guy, Ryan Routh, to shoot Trump through the bush. He was the second assassin. Connections. I mean, that wasn't a random guy. This guy had, the money, even though he had no job, money to fly all around the country and go rabble rouse for the Ukrainian militias, which was kind of weird and interesting. And then he had been arrested multiple times for these crazy charges like possession of weapons of mass destruction and all that. So I'm like, who's handling this guy? Who's controlling this guy? This guy's clearly an asset of somebody or something.
Yep.
So when I look at what they've done to him and I look at the continued threats and the continued attempts, I don't think it's going to stop. And it is something that I think, but I will say this, Barry, I think that they've done all they can. These people who are against Trump, these globalists, these deep state people, I think that they kind of do a balancing act and weigh their options. If we kill him, what happens? Will a world war break out? Will they lose?
Of course.
And then this whole system, the whole country will cease to exist. That's where we're at right now, where they've taken. They missed. They tried again with Ryan Ralph.
Yep.
That was squashed, thank God. So it's like they kind of, I don't think they could do it again. I think at this point, they got to do other tactics. But, I mean, again, at the inauguration, and you have all these threat alerts and stuff like that. Wow. I think the greatest thing about the MAGA base of Mary, it's totally undeterred. In Butler, Pennsylvania, any other crowd on the planet where there's gunshots, the stampede, there's chaos.
And he went back there.
And he went back there. But after that shooting, when he got shot, when Corey Capatori unfortunately lost his life, literally a fan who was there, lost his life, firefighter from the state of Pennsylvania, the whole crowd just stood there peacefully and calmly waiting for get up. Any other group of people, any other crowd, let a stampede, it would have been chaos. So the resolve and the strength, I don't think we're going to be intimidating, and I think that we're going to continue on. They're not going to.
Listen, Kurt, I think we're up against the break. Mike, when we come, how much power and authority really do we want the government to have? I've been listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. My special guest, handsome guy, Mike Crispy, in studio. We'll see you on the other side. Of course, you look good, brother.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit poor, can you to diabetes? $1 million insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Providers. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you. You have type 2 diabetes or overweight or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford to buy $1 million term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped to you. 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
Your 401k goes up and down. That's fine when you're 40, but not when you're 60. Find out how to protect your hard-earned money. Tune in to the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen, Saturdays at 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Pastor Brady here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken, is for the great message. Past 5 a.m. right here on Radio 1210 WPHT.
This new year, get started on your next success. Maryland Global Campus. Apply by February 12th. Application fee waived. An accredited state UMGC offers online and hybrid more than 135 degrees and certificates like business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and the skills and credentials you need to achieve your career goals. Your application fee waived through February 12th at umgc.edu. Certified by Chef.
Life insurance. Putting it off. Can't afford it? Too much help? Think you don't need it? There are excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't pay the mortgage and other bills, with Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. Getethos.com.
Hey guys, it's Jim Costa from Cash. If not playoffs, buckle up. Bet football's hard enough as it is. We're the research for you, so listen to Cash the Ticket. We'll be dropping new episodes for every single playoff game. That's going to be storylines leading into it, so some good football nuggets you're looking for. Sides, totals, trends, player props, throw those in there too. Pre-game and post-game, we're going to be all. Subscribe to Cash the Ticket on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube? Do it today at 1210 WPHT.
Yes, indeedy, we are back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends, 1210 WPHT, only talk radio. My guest in studio with me, Mike Crispy. So, Mike, I wanted to touch base with how much authority do you really want to see as an example? Look what's happening with FEMA today. Short on funds. Fire in L.A., short on funds. Can't even find water, for God's sakes. Veterans can't even afford to have homes or homelessness. Afghanistan debacle. DOJ, all failing. My question, now I got off there, all that stuff. Why, how, and when can we correct these things?
Well, I think obviously the incompetence of leftists are on full display. You know, they are big government and they let it be known that they're big government. I'm an advocate for shrinking the size of government. I believe that people can make their own decisions and that if you localize the decision making and how tax dollars are spent, you will always have a better result. Obviously,
Give me an example of how you shrink something. Give me an example.
You could cut. I mean, there's a place to cut the Department of Education. Why wouldn't you cut the Department of Education? The Department of Education has bureaucracy that hands down perverted sex ed curriculum and LGBT nonsense, and they hand it down and they teach it in order to get some funding. They dangle them. And I said, what good is this doing? When I say local, why shouldn't local counties select their students? Why aren't the school boards empowered to make that decision? Why are there bureaucracies hundreds or thousands of miles away in Washington, D.C., playing politics with what the kids are learning? So the Department of Education serves absolutely, and I believe there are several government institutions where it's like that. Okay, the ATF obviously, all it does is it restricts our Second Amendment of people who should be able to legally possess, carry it when their life is in danger. So you have all these government bureaucracies that take freedoms away from the people. Simultaneously, you have more tax because they say, we need to keep you safe. We need to provide the service. This, we need to that. And then if you look at the most taxed state in the union, California, their biggest city, the second biggest city, is literally burning down. So what do you take if when you need something, you're in your worst moment, you're in your most dire situation, they don't even have enough water to put out the fire. So here's what happened, Barry. I'm a small government guy, but here's my thing. I'm a small government guy. I believe in it. I'm a conservative. You cut the government 100%. But California is a state of emergency. So I'm going to say something that might be a little bit controversial right now. If not now, when will you do this? And if not in this situation, I think when President Trump comes in, control of California, you're probably saying, "Whoa, that's kind of crazy." Can it happen? It's never been tested, but it needs to happen. Mm-hmm. We need to do something about it. We need to send in the National Guard. We need to send in the military. We need to take Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass. We need to arrest them and charge them because at the least they're criminally negligent. At the they're part of an overarching conspiracy for something worse. So people have done such a horrible job, and they, at this point, I say, are they stupid? What's going on? He needs to seize control of it. He needs to get it on track. Liberals in California step aside. He needs to restore order, and then the people of California can go back and elect people.
But isn't it true by law that he cannot disperse the National Guard and step states, premises of how they operate?
I know.
So
I'm saying it's an uncharted waters because we've never been in the situation, and everyone's saying to me, Mike, like that's not very conservative view or what. But I'm saying this, and actually Jesse Waters said it too the other night on Fox, is that if not now, when? Right. We have millions of people whose lives are at risk. We have the toxins from the burning that are going to hurt people for years to come. Yep. Neighborhoods burning down. We have billions of dollars of business and enterprise and real estate that's being evaporated before our very eyes. And the question is why? And the answer is leftism and incompetence, okay? Gavin Newsom is criminally negligent. Karen Bass is criminally negligent.
I think it's more than that.
They stopped.
I think it's more than that.
The water supply.
And I'm going to tell you why I think it's more than that. For some reason, this government does not put Americans first and the lives, and they don't value the lives. Give me an example. I'll give you an example. In Palestine, when the train rail went off the track or so, look at all the problems they had. They couldn't get any relief there. The people that we left in Afghanistan, our own people. I mean, who ever heard of anything like that? The hostages that are in Israel, fentanyl coming into this country by droves, killing 100,000 a year. We can't find kids to the tune of 300 illegals. We don't know where they are. This country has failed its people. And finally, I just came back, as you know, as I said, from Brazil. The airport in Brazil were unbelievable. You go into the airport, it's schleppy. You know what that word means?
That's a nice way to describe it.
Of course. question is why are we not spending on education, on the benefit of Americans?
Yeah.
I have to tell you, our infrastructure stinks.
Yeah.
Our beautification of this country stinks. We not, as Americans, insisting on more. And one other thought, and then I'll leave you rant and go on. Have no accounting in this country. Dollars are being spent. Do you think Musk and Vivek are really going to be able to change things around? Will this bureaucracy let things happen appropriately?
Well, it's interesting because Pentagon, that's a perfect microcosm, a perfect place to start. Passed an audit. They've never passed it. Anytime the Pentagon's been audited, the audits dating back to right before 9/11.
Good point.
They couldn't. Billions of dollars. So if you're 30 off on your IRS tax return, they'll come after and send you a letter.
That's right.
Bureaucracies can be billions of dollars unaccounted for money, and nobody does anything to them. And the government doesn't say anything because what happens is these lobbyists, special interests, bribe the politicians to keep throwing money into a dark funnel, into a black hole. They pay defense contractors. These people you have in the education, people make money, bureaucrats make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and contractors make hundreds of thousands, and nobody can account for the spending.
Yep.
And it's also a federal problem, and it all speaks to the corruption that we have in our system more broad, Barry. I mean, we're not able to account for any of this money, and then when they pass budgets, all they do is increase spending. Every single year, they never cut spending. They always increase spending.
Yep.
So we're running into a situation where we're trillions of dollars in debt, where it doesn't even hurt at this point.
We
because
just
the
print
numbers
money.
are
We have
just
to.
fugazi.
We hope we don't
Yeah.
run out of. That's all we got to do.
We print the money. It's absolute a path of no return. It's a path of destruction. If continue on it, and that's why I've been saying that President Trump needs to cut spending. That's why I'm saying that Doge. Okay, the Department of Government Efficiency, I think is so important. Everything like this, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are going to go through federal agencies, audit them, and recommend changes to President Trump of where he can cut spending. They're also going to work with Congress. I see Congress formed a Doge, and those members of Congress are going to be telling other members to enact and pass and move through legislation to cut the size of government. So I'm telling you, if we don't do it now, we have with the chips.
We'll never get it done.
Yeah, we'll never, now or never, for cutting the size of government. And not only now or never with what we have, like we have great people, but if we don't do it, then the country's going to go bankrupt. And we're not going to have a country where we're returning to Venezuela, where the dollars are worth less than the paper they're printed on.
This is true. So let me ask you a question. With the people that he's select his cabinet, do you think we're getting through? You're talking about and all the others. You know who they are. Do you think they're going to have trouble getting elected to their positions?
I don't think they're going to have trouble, actually, because I think that at this point, President Trump has all of these senators.
Enough of the Republicans.
I think he pretty much has it unlocked. I mean, we have a bigger majority in the Senate than we do in the House.
To go along?
No, you
do not.
I think we're good to go. Need a couple of Democrats. A couple of Democrats have to do it. Fetterman's going to vote for these appointments.
I hope so.
I do believe that Trump has the votes for all of his cabinet picks. I think we're with that. And here's what I have also been saying. If they're not going to get on board with a particular cabinet member and Trump hardball, the Constitution very clearly forced him to follow it. Essentially throw the Congress into recess, the executive branch and the House disagree for how long the time is, then I believe the president can sit as long the House and the Senate recess for. So if he throws the Congress into recess, Congress is the House into recess, and the recess is longer than how long it is. But if it's longer than a certain period of time, that gives the president the authority in the Constitution to appoint these cabinet members on like a 2-year basis. Yeah. So if worse got to worse, President Trump does have the executive authority to throw Congress into recess and to put his appointments in for 2 years. I don't think we're going to need to get to that point. But I think that that's been spent. Worse comes to worse, he will do it. So I think all of these barriers get through.
Let me ask you a question about the FBI and get your thoughts. I mean, both of those take disarray. We've seen what happened in regards to trying to protect Donald Trump They failed at that. We've seen what Chris Wray has done. We've seen, forget that just those departments, but you saw Mayorkas. He's a disgrace. You've seen Ray is a disgrace. What are your thoughts on going forward to be able to adjust the FBI and the DOJ?
It's a great question. And here's going to be another controversial point today, is that instead of just hiring new people, you need to pursue the people who have gotten us into this mess. What do I mean by that?
I was going to ask you going to hold them accountable?
You need to go after them. Judge Mershon.
Yep.
Jack Smith.
Yep.
Christopher Wray.
Yep.
These people
Glad you mentioned that.
Need to face repercussions. Colangelo. Okay, do you guys know who Colangelo is, Barry?
Of course.
Colangelo's the guy ranking at the DOJ.
Yep.
He leaves to go become a New York City intern. Okay.
Yes.
So he goes from being third ranked at the DOJ. He leaves the DOJ abruptly. He goes to the New York office with Alvin Bragg. He becomes like an intern, and then he's the one leading the prosecution against Trump and the Alvin
Fauci and Merrick Garland. What do we do, characters?
So Merrick Garland and Fauci 100% also need to face accountability. I mean, I'm saying this. We got to where we are because of a corrupt system where criminals are enabled, they're paid, they're taken care of, and then after we overcome it, for example, we overcame it in 2016. But what did Trump do? For the good of the country, he said, you know what? I'm not going to prosecute Hillary Clinton.
That's right.
Even though she's guilty.
Yep.
Because I love the country and I value the Constitution and I want to keep our country together, I'm not going to go after these people. Right? They have overplayed their hand so egregiously, and people are so fed up, corruption and the third world tactics, that I believe they would support, the public would support us rooting them out. And the only way to root out criminals, Barry, is you have to put them on trial. You got to charge them. That's why Mershon,
I'm with you.
Colangelo,
I'm with you.
Jack Smith, these guys have committed crimes. Merrick Garland and Fauci, they need to pay the price. It's the only way it won't happen again. If you can commit crimes, and then if the other side wins, it doesn't matter the crime you committed. You still got to do the time. Just because you lose doesn't mean that you're absolved if you did criminality. Go.
Mike Crispy, lock them up. We are listening to Barry. Sable Show with friends during the WPHT. I'll hang in there with us. I'm having some fun with it yesterday. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Attention small business owners needing financing. Swish Funding is providing funds for expansion, increased overhead, even slash flow to small business all over America with affordable funding Monday. And we're ready to help with funding from $10,000 to $2 million. If you've been in business for a monthly income of at least $25,000, you can get funding you need with no collateral. Go to Swish Funding. That's swishfunding.com.
Hey, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call for service. You don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges. Website for additional details.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
Take them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my car. Yeah, they don't play around. Actually, I lose everything.
One sleepless night. Wesley called Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Don't miss the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause. Brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance this Saturday night at 6. Find out about the important issues that will affect you. The Labor and Energy Show, Saturday night at 6 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. Attention small business owners needing financing. Swish Funding is providing funds for expansion, inventory, increased overhead, even slow cash flow to small businesses all over America with affordable funding as soon as one business day. And we're ready to help with funding from $10,000 to $2 million. If you've been in business for 1 year or more with a monthly income of at least $25,000, you can get the affordable funding you need with no collateral. Go to swishfunding.com today. That's swishfunding.com.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Yes, indeedy, we are back. You are listening to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Anna Lash, you're leading in Brazil. Thank you so much. Hope to see you again soon.
You're an international star.
There you
You're
go.
an international star.
Yeah, we've had some calls recently, believe it or not. From
Unbelievable.
Yes, we're trying over here. Listen, Mike, I want to direct you in a different direction. Number one, what do you think this country is going to look like going forward in the next 6 months? Let's not extend ourselves beyond that. What do you think is actually really going to happen in regards to deportation, in regards to inflation, in regards to opening up the pipelines? I don't have to tell you. Our guests and our listeners all know about all these things. What are your thoughts on how quick he's going to get things done?
Well, the first thing that President Trump needs to do on day one is obviously begin the deportations. And I love what Tom Homan is talking about. I think that
How do you see that happening?
Well, we need to absolutely, in the first hours, I'm talking as soon as he takes his hand off the Bible, Tom Homan needs to be let loose to go to all of the county and local law enforcement folks and say, who's an illegal? We're getting them out right now because we know where they are. Trump always says, they say, Trump doesn't, how can you say you're going to deport these people? It's millions of people. How are you going to find them? How are you going to deport them? And Trump always says it perfectly. We know who they are. We know where they're located. We know who the gangs are, but they're protected by this ridiculous leftist due process that should not exist. If you're a criminal, you're not protected. If you're an illegal criminal, you have no constitutional rights, period. Just because you step foot on the land doesn't give you rights to the Constitution. You have constitutional rights when you're a citizen. So we know who you are. We know the corner you're on. We know the crimes. Yep. And we know the local law enforcement who has eyes on them. All Tom Homan has to do is open up the phone lines in the first day, have deputies and people taking in the calls, have our ICE local law enforcement folks all around the country. We take them on a bus, we bring them to the border, we put them in Mexico, and if the president doesn't want to take them, well, then we'll slap a tariff on Mexico, and then they'll have economic ruin. So they're going to have to take them. You know what they're going to take them, Barry? Because for years, they bastardized the system against us. They've allowed it to flow through Mexico unshipped in these caravans and come up through the country.
Title 42 going to happen?
And let me tell you something about these caravans, by the way. I see them coming up, and I always see the videos of it, and I go, why the hell is it the Mexican law enforcement stopping the caravan?
Of course.
They're coming up through the thing, and it's like they're walking, and they're on camera, and there's thousands of them. Where's the Mexican police? They don't just get to the border by accident. By the way, also, when you're an illegal immigrant coming up through a caravan, how do you get to the perfect point of entry? How do you get to the point of entry?
Cartels.
Who's
Cartels.
setting you
I
on
was
that
there.
path? What do you got, a map?
Yeah, they do.
Well,
they
the
do.
cartels have the map.
That's right.
Not the people who are,
That's
quote unquote, seeking asylum. It is a criminal enterprise unfolding, and it is criminal acts that are playing out. So I always say these aren't innocent people who are like, ooh, asylum, I'm seeking refuge. At the very least, they're in collaboration with the deadly cartels. The cartels are making billions of dollars in human smuggling, which enables them to make more fentanyl, which then puts it into the country. So deportations is the most important thing. That's going to also reduce inflation because we're spending hundreds of millions, if not billions, in entitlements. So that's one of the first things.
Left let him in. Is left going to push back in trying to get rid of him? What kind of pushback are you going to have? You saw what's going on in New York. Okay, I mean, to me, that mayor is a joke. The governor is a joke. You see that with Murphy, as far as I'm concerned. He's a joke. California is a joke. You've heard a lot of these political people in powerful positions have said they're going to push back. You're not coming into my city. You're not going to grab these people. Happen with that.
Listen, with the law enforcement and the laws on the books, it very much clearly states if you are harboring illegal aliens, that's a crime. Illegals, you're a criminal.
Yep.
So, you know what?
Go after them.
Arrest the mayor
That's
of Chicago.
right.
I said in the last segment, lock them up.
I agree.
Enough is
I
enough.
agree.
They're
I agree.
destroying the country. If you're not going to do it now, when are you going to do it, Barry? Lock up the mayor of Chicago. We're not going to collaborate with ICE. ICE can't do it. So we have to start with that. We have to set the tone. And people are like, oh, that's going to be crazy and Trump to be a dictator. They've thrown all that out there. The people vote for Trump. They know exactly who Trump is and what he stands for. So they're not going to be swayed by the fake news. It's been 9 years. We are so tuned out to their bull.
Yep.
Can I say it? I can't say it.
Duty.
Yeah, that's right.
How's that?
I'm proud of myself for not doing it. I know
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
live
get
on
kicked
radio.
off the air.
Yeah.
Listen, Mike, we have a caller. I'm not going to announce who it is. Caller, I know you're not calling for Uncle Barry. You're calling for Mike Crispy. Go ahead, my friend.
I'm actually calling for both of you,
Oh,
Mike and Barry.
Is this
Good
the person?
morning.
I always tell this person in the air, I embarrass her. She turns colors.
Wow.
She says you're spreading rumors because I have a crush on
This is
her.
one of the
Go ahead.
one of the greatest political figures in New Jersey.
Yeah,
called.
tell us who you are, my friend.
I am Beth Sawyer, the former assemblywoman for LD3, announcing that I am running to take my seat back.
There you go.
Wow.
On the Barry Sable Show with friends on Sunday morning.
It's an exclusive. I tell you, and let me tell you something. Beth Sawyer has been there since the beginning. Beth Sawyer was there. You know, we talk about New Jersey politics, I'm sure. But, you know, we did so much for President Trump. All the established cronies said it was a waste of time. Shot in Jersey. They all, let's focus on this. Let's focus. I think low-key they didn't even want Trump to win to reclaim their establishment control. I think a lot of these people are closet anti-Trumpers.
Yep.
But Beth Sawyer,
not her,
and her allies were with us,
Yep.
the America First Republicans, which was essentially an extension of the Trump campaign, working all over the state. Whenever we were in South Jersey, Beth Sawyer was
Yep.
there.
She's the
Whenever
best.
we were doing an event, Beth Sawyer was helping organize and drive turnout. Whenever we needed volunteers to get out the vote early for President Trump, Beth Sawyer was on the forefront of that with many ideas and many different ways to help and many different unique resources to connect us to. So she's been a fighter for President Trump. And I think everyone says, well, Mike, what's that have to do with, state government? It's called a litmus test. Are you with us when
That's
the
right.
chips are
Mike,
down? Most people aren't.
Help me out. Will 6-carat emerald cut do? You think it's
sir?
I caught you. Did I catch her? Beth, tell us what's going on quickly with North Carolina, my friend.
As you know, we had a big fundraiser, still raising money for the hurricane victims. I was sent a video yesterday of cars that were so they can keep their RVs warm.
Yeah.
The weather down there just chilling, and I think about these people that are being displaced. FEMA is refusing for their housing in
Sad.
It is very sad.
Yeah.
And also to see what just happened in California. My son lives in Beverly Hills, and just watching with him calling me, showing me more fires starting. there's craziness going on in this country, and I ask everyone, please continue to pray for the country, pray for the safety of President. I'm very excited to be going to the inauguration down there almost a week to see just something that's going to be amazing and being a part of history. This is being part of an incredible comeback that we've ever seen. I'm glad that we were such a big part of it. We got over 10,000 President Trump on the ballot in New Jersey. So grateful to you and Mike Byrne and all of these did as America First founders. And you
Patriots.
have given absolutely our great president amazing speech in Wildwood. You really set the tone. It was great.
Listen, Beth, I don't want you to go.
Beth.
We're up against the break. We only have another minutes to go. Can you hang in there with us? Because the question, Mike, great. I appreciate it. Quick break. You have been listening to the Barry Sable Show. Friends, 1210 WPHT. Please don't leave us. We've got a few minutes.
We know you're on psychics. Is this fortune teller you found on a legit?
On love is me.
That's why California Psychics % of the psychics who apply to work with us. Guaranteed. If your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes. So experience the joy at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
You know, as they say, well, information is another person's truth.
Exactly. That's why I use Nord every time I surf the web. Threat Protection Pro's safe phishing websites and disable intrusion trackers. Just check NordVPN.com, grab the deal, and see for yourself. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano, looking to your health goals and start the new to optimize and support your heart health, digestive health, energy levels, and more. Rescue natural supplements. Rescue is celebrating 5% on single bottles. Code HEALTH35. The Rescue 12 Heart Health. Rescue Probiotic for better rescue or see more energy. Whatever your health goals are, Rescue has you covered. To place an order, call Alive 800-260. Speak to a knowledgeable Rescue product or shop online at res.q. To better health today, use the code HEALTH35. Again, save 35% on all single supplements. Use that code HEALTH5. Don't wait. Make this year your best yet. Rescue.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. To your radio doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 HT for the latest healthcare news and information. Because your health is your wealth. Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
We all hear about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TR is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're at work or with your kids, no matter all now. 800-575-64. Don't lose hope. TRA reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes. Fix their IRS problems. We have over 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting online at TRA.com. 800-575-6481. 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions.
We know your favorite station is.
Tell your smart speaker to play WPHT.
Oh,
You're
my
live.
God. We're packed.
We're just having so much
Mike.
fun. You don't even know what's
Exactly.
going
We're listening to the Barry Sable Show with my guest, Mike Crispy, online with us, Sawyer. So to both of you, ask you, can Donald Trump make us believe again? Can we believe in the American dream? I want to lead out with you, Mike. Go ahead.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think that it's proven with New Jersey just how much coming around to the America. You know, everyone was saying that, and right before the last break, we were talking about how that it wasn't worth the time, and then within 5 points of winning New Jersey, it's in 2020, and about 15 points. So it goes to show you swing, the shift in sentiment.
Yeah, McCormick won.
Unbelievable. So shift in the
Beth, you
public
still there?
sentiment is massive.
Yes, Beth.
I am.
Okay. Mike, but I want to make sure that
But that should give everybody hope. It shows that we're all coming together finally.
Yep.
I always believe the right message, had the authenticity. He doesn't need this. He can be living a nice, peaceful, quiet life. His beautiful estates around the world, but he's because he believes in American exceptionalism, the creation of the American dream, and news media, which is of the radical left, has done everything they wedge between Donald Trump's authentic pro-American ideas and the people benefit from them. So I believe that is dying. Their attempt to rip us apart. I believe for President Trump's agenda, and I think, and in New Jersey again, in each state, the results in Pennsylvania proves that their attempts and our attempts are winning. It's going to be profound in the years to come.
Assemblywoman Beth Sawyer Way.
I agree with that. I mean, Trump need to do this. We all know he has a beautiful life, family, and when you compare him, is that the left try to portray him as Hitler, this monster. Don't look at Trump. Look at family. Look at his beautiful children.
True.
The law.
I agree,
then you
Beth.
Look at his grand.
Yep.
So that right there tells you that the horrible reputation and this person was absolutely disgusting. And then you go and you look at the President Jimmy Carter funeral, how Obama sat there next to him, and he was yucking it up with President Trump. Our president, a lot of credit that he was able to see a man who has done nothing but try to destroy. And President Trump had a smile on his face. He was in good spirits because President Trump knows the winner. They tried everything, man, they even tried to assassinate. I believe that he is here for God spared his life for allow him to see the left destroy. God is not giving up on us. Trump has a solid message of America, and that's what he's going to be looking for in this. He's going to be looking for America First Republic, and I'm very proud to say I'm a very strong America First. And he's going to take control of this country. He's going to bring law and order back down in North Carolina.
You got it.
He's going to
go
get
ahead.
money. He's going to do incredible things, and this is what this country needs. He's bring everybody together, and this is one. We need President Trump because America is ready for the truth. The left has lied. They are so corrupt, and it's said we need to drain. There are people on both sides of the aisle that need to get, and Trump is going to their hatred, their evil, their corruptness. For us to do something about it, I'm glad that I'm going to be part of that. I'm looking of running this election and supporter of Jack Ciattarelli. I think that only hope for a Republican governor in Jersey, and I'm going to stick with. He was with me in 2021. Might come back with Jack, and I'm looking. We need a Republican New Jersey. We can't take another 4 Democratic governor. People state in droves, and one thing I'm going to be pushing for remove the sanctuary state in New Jersey.
Yep.
It's got to stop. We have got to stop these illegals that are committing crimes, raping, they're murdering, they're stealing, they're doing all these horrible things. Send them back to the street or lock them up.
Exactly. Mike, time. I want to quickly talk to you on me. As far as I'm concerned, Trump was voted for many issues, but one of them was economy and inflation. Can you quickly have a lot of time? Can you start to give me your thoughts on?
I think that if we cut the size of government, that are really becoming vastly unaffordable. A lot of this started during the COVID times when we're printing money and they were messing up the economy. Small businesses were being shut, consolidating. So we need to get an economy that was drill, baby, drill. We're not going to foreign countries to get energy. We have liquid gold, President Trump says, under our feet. Have our own energy.
Of course.
The second thing is we're not going to get ripped off anymore. Right now, we pay billions of dollars to other countries to protect military defense, and then on top of that, when it's to trading, we have like this crazy trade imbalance ripped off. They're putting tariffs on us, tariffs on them. So it's called leverage. It's called the art of the deal. Saying, hey, we're not going to give you our military off and rip off our taxpayers. Nobody for the stuff, but basic comments whenever we hear Republicans. So I think scaling back on using our military defense stuff that we bridge. Okay, right now we just give it away. Having a fair trade agreement all over the world. That's going to do a lot of that economic.
Best Sawyer before.
Absolutely, drill back manufacturing to our country, bring back to Americans, making USA, being proud of. We are the #1 powerhouse. Trump's going to go and he's going to raise hell on Hamas for not sending those.
I hope so.
Home, and he's going to send. We are no longer a woke government. We are no longer leftist progressive government. He is here to set the tone for America. We are stronger than ever, and he's going to fight into our country.
I agree.
On our Jewish families.
I agree. Listen, I one question. Listening, Mike. Do you think the men white gold or yellow gold?
I made
her blush
jeweler,
again.
I don't know if you're Barry Sable. I really, Barry, I really didn't show just what a tremendous business titan you are.
Thank you. Studio with me again. Something, huh? That lady boy, she's morning, noon, and night.
We need more people who are going to stand for the Trump agenda. I say this, it's a litmus test, and that everything to do in the state of New Jersey, electoral election, with these assembly races, you can take the framework done at the federal level, and you can have that for rooting out corruption, saving, working for yourself, localizing government. These are the we can do at the federal level. So Trump has set this model forth. It's going to be in the next 50 years of politics for people like Beth and others to run on.
Thank you for joining me in studio. I want to give you these last thoughts. Time is never found again. A secret can only be held by 3 people. Them are dead. Apology to Mike Crispy, my guest here today. Philly, on your busy, grateful to you for spending some time with us. You have to the Barry Sable Show with friends. Talk Radio HT. Have a great week. Have a safe week. Go, Eagles, go. LES. We will see you again, God willing. Thanks for being there for me.
Are getting better with the 7 to 10 p.m.
Back when I was a cab driver to make my way in comedy and find some television and radio and everything in between, I was articles, mocking towards culture and cancel culture like that, and they had booked me an interview in WPHT. They were the very to ever book. So to be sitting here, 8 or 9 years a host in your lineup is obvious deal to me personally.
Now weeknights, 7 Talk Radio 1210 and the free Odyssey app.
West offer. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder.
If you receive an phone call or mail piece to discuss renting or especially cancel, don't fall for it. I'm sure hang the phone or throw that mail piece in the trash and your timeshare resort or financial group for assistance with only Inc. 500 timeshare company. Our knowledge has made Wesley a trusted resource. 40,000 families we've helped get out here. Give us a call and I'll send you a timeshare exit information kit free. Great facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your Fro Kid. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2121. 800-329-2120. Attention, Medicaid patients.
On Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend on Medicaid? Freedom Care allows you to choose who's your care, and that caregiver will get paid after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 276-692-3782. 276-692-3782 to get started. You get a caregiver you know and trust instantly after their shift, and it's free to now by calling 267-692-32. 267-692-3782. Go to freedomcare.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. We dedicate our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I, and I'm really proud